So now a bit about life in other dimensions. So you are told that during your life at the astral plane at Venus, from where you were following the life of the Gibson family in the US that you later became a part of. So were you given information about the life of this family, or were you yourself in a way able to watch them from your place at astral level?
No, I was told by teachers who studied them, and they had the ability, the spiritual masters, to go and travel into time and the future and in the past, and they told me the history of the family and their names, so I could be familiar with particular relatives of Sheila's that I would be exchanging my life with. So I've become familiar with their names.
Yeah. So, but are there some people in other dimensions or out there who can, in a way, monitor us from a distance?
In the spacecraft, I can see people walking around on the streets and stuff. They have this technology, but they don't read people's minds, and they don't, because there's a spiritual protection for each individual.
Okay.
But they can monitor your whereabouts and your actions, but not in the houses outside.
There's a famous channeler called Bashar, who is channeling some being from Setalicically, and he got the question, do you have television? And then he answered, no, we are watching you. So it's like, how visible is life down here for those out there? Is it like when this summer it was the Football World Championship in Brazil, that some people out in space could, from a distance, watch the games and see how it was and enjoy the excitement?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that it is like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Anya.
Yeah. So
it's not the newspaper.
or some spy.
Or some spy.
So now let's talk a bit about soul. Is it so that many life forms apart from humans have soul, like wild animals in the forest, tigers and elephants and so on?
Every animal, every plant, every mineral is a soul, and they're in a certain life cycle. Every soul has to go through the cycle of mineral, plant, animal before it's human, and serve purposes. And that's the whole soul evolution. Individually, it's a part of souls wanting to experience everything possible in the physical realm. And it's part of the soul's evolution, because the soul eventually, after it reaches human state, will experience every detail of being a human, ugly and good, because to a soul nothing is bad or good. It's only a valuable experience. And then it will go on its evolution and gather all the knowledge it can until it has the awareness of the Creator, and then it will become a co-worker with the Creator and do jobs on higher realms. So that is the journey of soul, part of the journey of soul. Soul is existing forever. It's eternal. You don't know how long you've been here. Millions and millions of years, of your existence, because you've been a mineral, you've been a plant, you've been an animal, and since you're human, you're caretakers for all these other forms because you need them in order to exist. You have to eat, you have to have minerals, you have to have meat, and so on. And every animal and plant knows that it serves a purpose for the higher being, so it itself can become a higher being. It's a whole process that God created in a never-ending cycle. so that God never ceases to exist, but exists forever through its creation.
Yeah, I see. So, but is it so that it's like human stage, being a human is like the highest physical level of the soul ladder? It's my impression that maybe some animals are even wiser than humans.
No, but animals that are pets and in close proximity in lives with people are going to become a human next, and that's why they have a close relationship with people, so they can observe how to behave, how to be a person.
Oh, interesting. So
House pets and horses, animals that are really involved with humans are on the last stage.
Yeah. So, but people who have been humans once or many times, can they later reincarnate as as an animal, for instance?
No. Once you're a human, you can't go back. You always go forward.
You can't go back?
No.
Okay.
When you reach a human state, you experience every human being that's possible, which is many. I mean, there's warriors, there's murderers, there's artists, there's everything. Movie stars. I mean, you've got to have every aspect of human abilities before you're finished as being a person.
But you can circulate between planets, being in different planets in this galaxy or the galaxies.
Yeah, of course you cover the whole physical galaxy.
Because there are lots of humans in many planets.
And there's also non-human, but they're higher advanced forms. They don't look like human beings, but they're intelligent beings.
What appearances might they have?
Oh, the Greys, which you know about.
Yeah.
And some reptilian. There are all kinds of forms of beings that are intelligent, but not exactly human in appearance. And they're not all kind. They're very dangerous, some of them, but the earth is protected now through the transformation. That hidden temples are joined together by energy.
Yeah.
And this is building a force field to protect the earth from any kind of negative aliens interacting with human beings without their permission. So that's not a danger anymore. It was at one time.
Yes, another danger lies in infiltration. If there are humans cooperating with some
Well,
negative...
if they're cooperating with them, that's different. They're inviting them.
Yeah, because they can do it for...
Because they have karmic reasons or for power, for whatever. I mean, that struggle is always going on.
Yeah, it's nothing new, but it might still be the case here.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's a trap.
So, now a little bit about one of my favorite issues, the history of our solar system. You mentioned it a bit. So I have the impression that much of folkloric informations have roots in reality. So nowhere in Norway, in our Norse mythology, there are figures by the names of Odin and Thor. And we have mentioned Vale and Thor, who came from Venus, and also your uncle by the name of Odin.
Yep.
So
Isn't that wonderful? It's because they're the ancestors of the Nordic race.
Yeah, so might it be that our mythology figures, Odin and Thor, in reality were visitors from Venus who...
Exactly.
Yeah, you think so, or you know it?
I know it, yeah.
You know it, well, it's like this?
Yeah. I know that for sure, because the Venusians are the ancestors of the Scandinavian, the Nordic race, the white people on Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're the ancestors.
Yeah.
And now they're mixed, with other races, so on Earth, I mean.
Yeah. So
I was excited when I learned I was coming to Norway. Because my Earth parents, my great-grandmother and grandfather were from Norway.
In the Gibson family also?
Yeah, their name was Orange.
Yeah.
My grandmother, Earth grandmother's grandpa and grandma were from Norway, and their name was Orange.
Yeah.
George Orange, something like. I don't know anything. I got a history book. Finally, today Anya found one.
So then you have like ancestors both in your Earth family coming from here, and also the ancestors
And the Venusians.
of Scandinavians are the Venusians.
Yeah.
So according to my sources, there is or has been extraterrestrial civilizations on these planets and moons within our solar system, and those are Venus, and they are our moon. There was or is ET life there?
No, there was only, that I know of, only mining on the moon for crystals, solar crystals.
It was done by ETs?
I don't think they were living there. If they were living there, it was temporary, only in working camps.
Yeah, I see. And the planet Mars, there was or has been ET life there?
Yeah, Mars, Venus, Saturn, and Jupiter were the 4 original planets that were inhabited by the 4 original races of human beings who came from other galaxies far away. And they were given information. They were bring human life to this system. And so they all took their big spaceships and thousands of humans, and they migrated to this system, and they inhabited Mars, Venus, Saturn, and Jupiter at the time before the Earth was even a planet.
So the black race, that is the Africans, their ancestors came from Jupiter. And the yellow race, the Chinese and the Japanese, they came from Mars.
Yep.
And the red race, that is the Indians, they came from Saturn. And the white race, that was you or Venus. Your ancestors coming from Venus. So, do you know other planets or moons with life today? I know there is life on Uranus, and at least one of the moons of Uranus. What about Neptune? What about other moons?
I'm not really positive. I know I've heard about Uranus, but I'm not positive, no. I love Pluto, and I found out that it's not even considered a planet anymore.
But is there any traffic there or life there?
No, they just said that it's so small. It's more like an asteroid or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I was disappointed because I like Pluto.
Yeah, I thought it was... they did bad to kick Pluto out of the solar system because it must feel very, very lonely there now, being outcast.
I felt the same way.
Yeah, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the scientists said that on TV, I was like, boo on you, I don't like you anymore. I don't want to hear your theories.
Yeah.
It was his theory that it's not a planet.
Yeah.
So he protested until he got it booted out. I said, how can they do that? You know, once you're a planet, how can they boot you out? All of a sudden, you're not a planet anymore.
If you still keeping the same elliptic orbit, there's no physical difference. So, what planets in our solar system take part in the Brotherhood of the Planets now?
Mars, Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn. And then there's Sirius, and there's some of the Pleiadians. There is even aliens that don't look human that are part of it, but they're from planets that people never heard of. But there's many, many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you mentioned...
at least 40.
Yeah. You mentioned people from Jupiter and Saturn, but can they live? Do they live inside the planets?
No, they live on the astral too.
Okay,
at
they're
moment.
at the astral.
But they all have one city on the surface that's hidden under a dome, a climatic structure, so they can manifest physical bodies to live in the physical.
On those planets, that's also on these planets, because I know you did that at Rets, which is this multi-dimensional or two-dimensional city on the planet Venus, hidden below a dome.
But there's one on every one of those planets.
How are these cities called at Jupiter and Saturn?
I don't know. I don't know. I just bring the information from Venus.
Yeah, but the name doesn't matter unless you...
Well, you wouldn't know anyway. It's a language.
I know that these concepts are in place there as well.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about the circumstances that led to the destruction of the planet Mydek or Malona, which between Mars and Jupiter, that caused the creation of what we now know as the asteroid belt?
I heard about it. I read about it a little bit from this scientist that Adamski knew, who wrote a book, Other Tongues, Other Flesh. I read about it in his book, but I don't really know myself, no.
Yeah, I see. Because Adamski, he was an American, very spiritually enlightened, and he had some contact with people
He was the first Venusian contact on Earth to be made publicly known.
Yeah. What was the names of the Venusians, the Venusian that he met?
Orthon.
Orthon it was, yeah.
That was another uncle for myself.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's also one of your
Uncle
uncles.
Orthon, Uncle Odin, yeah.
Yeah.
And Omne.
Yeah.
We're all a O.
Yeah. Is that for some particular symbolic
It
significance?
was just our family.
Okay.
It's quite normal for our family to choose names with O's somewhere in the physical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here now we are in Oslo, which is two O's, one at the beginning and one in the end.
Exactly. It's the perfect place for me.
Yeah, and we are in October.
Oh. Oh.
And today is Onsdag, Wednesday is Onsdag in Norwegian language.
So everything is O.
Yeah, and if you see, we have the 8th of October, which is in like two circles.
Yeah, the infinity.
Yeah, infinity. Nice. So, yeah, we spoke of the different races. Why were life conditions lost at those planets? Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, Venus. What actually happened? There was life.
Partially because the planet is so old, it was just going into a dormant stage, and partially because of developing their technology, they made mistakes and destroyed their environment, which they're trying to prevent on Earth through the transformation.
But was it like accidental for not knowing better, or was it some sort of space wars, Star Wars, or shootout?
No, it was more or less out of learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing dangerous experiments.
Exactly. You learn through experience, and then you try to prevent the same thing from happening elsewhere. And we decided that we're going to protect the Earth and prevent this from happening because the Earth is unique. It was created, all the life forms, the plants, the minerals, the animals were brought here from other galaxies by the 4 original races that inhabited the Earth and brought human life here. And so the Earth is very unique because everything on Earth was brought here to support the Earth and to cooperate and create a paradise on Earth.
Yeah.
And so the Earth is unique because the inhabitants are from many different races of beings. And all of the life forms, the animals, the plants, and everything, they're all working in cooperation to harmonize and balance the Earth. And so the decision was made after hundreds of meetings that the Earth would be protected, that we would transform the Earth and raise its vibrations rather than have it go into destruction, either through war or any other thing. So we're nullifying all the negative powers that are controlling and ruling the Earth, so that human beings have a chance to regenerate, and through the transformation process, the 2 brain halves will function as one, and new chakras will be created in the body, and the body will go through a process of changing to a higher form of being. And that's what we're doing. It's happening now at the time. It started in 1999.
So how are these changes implemented within, let's say, like newborn babies? Is it some sort of genetic change, or?
It's implemented through all the animals, the nature spirits. Everything is cooperating by changing their frequency and their sound patterns. And they've been doing it since 1999, and the spaceships are located around the Earth, and they're also sending energy from their ships to the Earth to support the system's change. And then the spiritual hierarchy is sending energy from the non-physical level, so it's working on all levels.
Yeah.
It's been going on since 1999, and people, and the Earth is, even though the negative powers know they're falling, they're fighting back with all the power they can.
Yeah, they're creating fear through the media and things like that.
Exactly,
So,
because they know that they can't control anymore, and they don't want to give up. But on the other hand, eventually there will be mass suicides because people are so involved in the technology and so engrossed in the money systems and all that they can't accept the changes. And things will get worse before it gets better, but it's that way with anything that's bad. I mean, it's like poison has to come to the surface before it can heal, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening.
Yeah, I see. So there seems to be lots of UFO observations taking place nowadays. But are the UFOs and the larger ships, are they safe from being like attacked by accelerated particle beam weapons that has been developed within U.S. military complex, industrial complex, and so on?
Their technology is so great that the Earth has no chance because it makes all the technology exist here obsolete. It's so far more advanced than what we have on Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have no fear. They fear us. We don't fear them.
Yeah.
They don't even want to admit that we exist because of their fear. Even though they know of our technology, and since we won't give them the technology, and the negative aliens only exchange it with the okay to do the manipulation of the cattle and some humans, and now that's ended because of the transformation. But that was going on for a while, where that in exchange for certain technology, they were allowed to abduct people and mutilate cattle and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that was the deal being done in the 1950s by the US President Eisenhower.
Yeah, it was an exchange program.
Yeah.
And they have some of the technology and some of the ships, but now they're obsolete because their technology is far more advanced. So that stuff is out of date.
Yeah. So what was it all good for?
Yeah. Just to park in the underground and try to figure out how to use them.
Yeah.
They figured out some of it, but not most of it.
Oh, they got other things they were not able to reverse engineer?
No, they have all the computer systems and everything, and laser beams, all that stuff came from this technology.
Yeah.
But they don't know how to use the ships because they don't have the consciousness.
Yeah.
And they won't.
You might need to have some spiritual compatibility with some of the technology.
You have to have before you can have this technology. It won't function without mind control, you know.
Oh yeah.
And man hasn't learned that yet. They only control each other.
Yeah. So, and now a bit about some so-called scientific, I call it hypothesis. So the so-called Big Bang theory, it seems like it is assuming that our visible frequency spectrum, which is the 3D or the physical plane, it's focusing only on crude matter, but viewed in the perspective of the realms of the higher frequencies, where the vibrations are faster. It's like the crude matter only perspective on reality seems to be omitting important information about creation, which makes it somewhat unscientific.
No. I go with the creator. I'm not into the Big Bang Theory.
Neither am I.
No,
So,
it's too scientific, and it doesn't leave room for how everything came to be.
yeah,
It just tells you chemically how something could happen, but
Yeah.
it doesn't explain life or nothing about human beings or animals or nothing.
yeah, it's quite
And it
reductionist.
leaves out the soul,
Yeah, consciousness.
and consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff is not explained, so I don't go along with it. It's fascinating, but I'm not really in agreement with it.
Yeah, and concerning how different life forms have come to Earth, is it so that some life forms might have been manifested from higher dimensions?
Yeah.
Because there's so much perfection in nature, as if it was designed somewhere else, and then
through the hidden temples.
yeah,
The hidden temples were portals to the other dimension, and they had the ability to manifest in these temples
yeah,
and create stuff like crystals and so on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like creating, manifesting life forms.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Certain life forms.
Yeah. So, some. Do you have any examples?
No, I couldn't tell
So
you.
I see, like it's like falcons or spiders. They're so perfect in the way to operate.
Yeah.
So
It could be. I don't know. I'm not really positive.
yeah, but much of it has been brought from other places.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like the pyrite, or what do you call it? This metal that always is formed in cubes.
Mm-hmm.
That is like one of the forms. It's a metal that forms in cubes.
Okay.
It's a mineral,
Yeah.
and it's like a metal, but it's always in cube form.
Okay. Like
So
yeah.
that's not made by nature.
Mm-hmm.
And I think gold, I think it's many different things.
Yeah.
They had to do with alchemy and all that, and the alchemy was connected to this manifestation process.
Mm-hmm.
Saint Germain was one of the teachers.
He lived in France some centuries ago.
Yeah,
Okay. So he was some sort of alchemist, or
yeah. I studied under him as an alchemist. He wasn't a spiritual teacher for me.
he was not.
No, he was just an alchemist. And I
Okay.
studied alchemy at
Yeah.
one time, yeah.
And did you manage to manifest gold?
No. I still have no idea what in the world I was doing.
Yeah.
I never understood the whole process.
Yeah.
Even in that lifetime when I studied, I didn't know. And now I certainly don't know.
Yeah.
Because I have not a scientific mind in this life.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
I work more from the emotions,
Yeah.
from feeling.
You are like a spiritual teacher.
Exactly.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to have to go. I think I'm running out of energy.
Yeah.
I have
so
to have more tonight.
yeah, but we are through. So I just want to ask you one final question. What advice you will give to people who are living here on Earth now, who want to appreciate and adapt to the new phase of life on Earth that is now underway?
They have to replace criticism and judgment with acceptance and love. And the only kind of love that's true is unconditional, like the Creator has for all living things. It loves everything just because it exists and for no other reason. With no condition. Just, I love you because you are. And that's how we have to learn to love each other.
Thank you very much, Omnek.
Okay, Amul Abaktu Barak Abshad. That means, may the universal love and blessings be. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good.
Thank you, Hans.
You're welcome.